Thanksgiving had always been my sister's stage. Even before the startup, before the investors and the articles in local business blogs. She moved through our parents' kitchen like it was a boardroom she owned. My mother admired her efficiency. My father admired her certainty. I set the table. That had been the rhythm since we were teenagers. She pitched ideas. I executed plans. She was described as visionary. I was described as dependable. 3 years earlier, she had stood in the living room with a slide deck on the TV and told our parents she was going to regional supply chain logistics. She used words like scalable and early mover advantage. My father leaned forward like a man watching a sunrise. When she finished, he said, I remember him glancing at me and adding, pay attention. This is how wealth is built. Not by working for someone else. I worked in corporate compliance for a mid-sized manufacturing firm. I read contracts for a living. I audited risk disclosures. It wasn't glamorous. It was steady. My parents liquidated nearly $500,000 of retirement savings and wired it into her startup within 2 weeks. My mother called it belief. My father called it strategy. I called it concentration risk. Quietly, I asked for a business plan. I asked about regulatory exposure. My sister smiled the way you smile at someone who doesn't quite understand the future. You think small, she told me once. That's okay. Not everyone is built for this. After that, I stopped offering advice. It didn't land it as insecurity. The first year, everything looked impressive. Photos with investors, a leased office, employees hired quickly. My parents bragged about projected growth. I listened for numbers that didn't align, revenue that seemed inflated, partnerships that sounded vague. The second year, her updates became less detailed. Funding rounds blurred together. She mentioned bridging capital and temporary liquidity adjustments. My father doubled down publicly, defending her vision anytime someone asked cautious questions. Blind loyalty is loudest when doubt gets close. By the third year, the phone never left her hand. That Thanksgiving, she was describing an expansion into 3 new states while basting a turkey. My father nodded as if he'd personally approved each deal. My mother glowed. Her phone buzzed repeatedly on the counter. She flipped it face down. I noticed. There's a difference between confidence and strain. I read strain for a living. The knock on the door was firm, not aggressive. My father opened it expecting a late cousin. 2 agents stood there. Jackets zipped, badges visible. They asked for my sister by her full legal name. No one moved at first. The room recalibrated around a sound of authority. They stepped inside calmly. They showed paperwork. Federal charges related to wire fraud, investor misrepresentation, misuse of funds. The language was precise. My sister's face didn't crumble immediately. It hardened. She started explaining market fluctuations, accounting errors, short-term cash flow gaps. One agent spoke evenly. You can make statements after you've spoken with counsel. When they placed the handcuffs on her wrists, the room felt smaller. That's when she turned toward my father. It was Dad's idea, she shouted. He said to move the funds. He said investors wouldn't notice if we stabilized first. My mother collapsed into the dining chair before sliding to the floor. Not dramatic. Just sudden. The turkey timer went off. No one turned it off. After the agents left with my sister, I called an ambulance for my mother. Stress-induced syncope, the paramedics said gently. She would recover physically. My father stood in the kitchen staring at the indentation in the carpet where the agent's boot pressed. Did you know? I asked him quietly. He didn't answer directly. I trusted her. He said instead. That wasn't the question. In the weeks that followed, reality became paperwork. Investigators contacted my parents regarding the retirement transfer. It had been routed through company accounts during a period under review. Whether they were victims or participants depended on documentation. My father's early advice, emails surfaced. Suggestions about relocating funds temporarily. Encouragement to smooth numbers until growth catches up. He had thought he was helping. He had thought belief was protection. I helped them hire an attorney. I reviewed statements, timelines, disclosures. My job, the one built on caution and regulation, became the only stable skill set in the house. My father stopped calling me the one who would work for someone else. he started asking. I answered carefully. No lectures. No vindication. There's nothing satisfying about being right when it costs $500,000 and your sister's freedom. My sister called from detention twice before arraignment. The first call was defensive. The second was quieter. I thought it would turn around, she said. Dad said growth solves everything. Growth doesn't solve fraud. But I didn't say that. Our parents' retirement savings are unlikely to return. Legal fees are already consuming what's left. The house may have to be sold. My mother doesn't talk about genius anymore. My father doesn't talk much at all. Favoritism didn't create resilience. It created insulation. And insulation, when punctured, collapses fast. Thanksgiving leftovers sat untouched for days. I returned to work the following Monday. Compliance reports. Risk assessments. Structured conversations about accountability. Nothing in my office felt dramatic. Just necessary. At home, the air is different now. Quieter. Not peaceful, just honest. I am no longer the child who thinks small. I am the one who understands consequences before they arrive at the door. There's no triumph in that. Only the steady work of cleaning up what blind loyalty refused to question.